It's working. It's working. I have to print a retraction.
You're actually going to acknowledge it. Outstanding.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What the fuck? So I misspoke last cast and I mistitled the last title of the cast. Nerds of Color is not celebrating 20 years. Nerds of Color is on the verge of celebrating 10 years.
50 years.
50
years in business.
50
the
years.
Groundbreaking 50 years. The golden celebration.
10 years because time feels like nothing. I thought 20 years was happening.
Right, exactly. Honestly, I mean, operating between 2020 and now should count as 5 years anyway. At the very least, they're on the 15th anniversary, like minimum.
Yeah. So So Keith emailed us or he messaged us. He was like, actually, it's 10 years, guys. And I was like, fuck it. Tell him it's 20. Tell him it's 50. Tell him it's save it. Fake it till you make it, baby. But then, the episode might not have gone up anyway, because Wednesday night, my computer decided, nuh-uh. It just noped out. And I didn't sleep at all last Wednesday because I was so mad. But I was trying to contain it inside and also trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So have you ever messed with PCs before, Brandon? I know you're running a Mac.
Yeah, running a Mac now, but like growing up and up until the current Mac that I own, I had been way more into PCs. I like the ability of expanding memory and hard drive space and everything else like that with a lot more ease.
Yeah.
And, other than the risk you took with viruses and what have you, I definitely enjoyed having a PC for a very long time. I was definitely a PC guy.
Yeah, I should have been. I got this box because my laptop was dying and I wanted something more powerful that could run a lot more of the 3D stuff. And the 2015 MacBook Pro just wasn't up to snuff. So I got this gaming rig from iBuyPower. A year into it, my hard drive fried. So I had to get that swapped out and changed. And I didn't know how to do that. So there was a local repair shop. They did it for me.
Okay.
So things been running smoothly. A couple weeks ago, I started hearing this crackling noise, like a.
Ew, that's not good.
And I was like, it sounds mechanical. It sounds like a fan is hitting a screw.
Okay.
And so I went through and I poked all the fans.
Okay.
To see if I stopped one of them. Maybe it was misaligned. I could replace it, or if I wanted to be really dumb, I could like shave down one of the ends of the things.
Now you just replace fans like that. They're cheap enough. You don't even bother with like trying to modify them.
Yeah, I see it, and that's why I should have been a PC builder all this time because But I mean, Macs had worked up until they didn't, and
you're right.
And when it came time to buy a new machine, I was like, well, I could spend all this money on an Apple product, or I could spend this money on a gaming tower that's faster at the time because M1 hadn't come out yet.
Right.
And be able to upgrade as I go along. Like maybe in the long run, I'd spend a little bit more money year after year, but I could learn how to build this thing and take it apart and fix it up.
It's also about what can you afford right now.
Yeah.
And what financially makes sense right now, because you don't have the financial security of being able to make maybe the best choice over a 5-year period because you just can't plan out that far.
Yeah. So it wasn't any of the fans.
Okay.
I auditorially thought that it was in the radiator. So there's a radiator that I have a water cooling system.
Oh, so, wow. Okay. Gotcha.
So it's a closed loop.
Right.
And I had heard that this particular brand of builder, their water cooling systems suck because they rebrand another third party system and they install and they set and forget it, but it's not the best.
Okay.
So one of the recommendations I saw online was to like angle your case. And I was like, well, that sounds dumb as shit, but I'll try it.
Is it because the water flow needs natural gravity to help it feed?
There's something about like maybe there's bubbles trapped in somewhere, and then
well, that would make sense. By tilting the case, you'd allow the bubbles to reach toward the top, and if there's some sort of breather system, what have you? Okay, so, all right, I can buy this. This makes sense.
I tilted it towards the front.
Yeah.
And that's when the noise started to stop, and I was like, okay, that worked for like a week or two.
Okay.
Then the noise started going more, and then I made the angle a lot more extreme.
Right.
And that didn't seem to make a difference. So I was like, fuck this. So I took apart the radiator.
Okay.
And I discovered. So here's the radiator. I discovered that the sound was coming from this pump. So there's two pumps in the system. This is the pump from the radiator. This is the pump that sits on your processor, and then there's the thermal paste. So you stick this on the processor,
right, and it actively cools as it passes water past everything and recirculates itself. And that's a pretty small loop, though. Like, how does it even really cool that well?
I don't know, man. So the water goes through the radiator pulls in the
right. No, I get you.
Shit.
No, I mean, I guess honestly, it's as large as some oil coolers I've seen on cars. So, like, to be fair, it's probably all right. So
the noise was coming from here.
Okay.
I was not brave enough to open this up because there's water. There's water in these that are parts.
Well, that was going to be my first question. Is it low on water?
It's a closed system. I don't think so.
Water evaporates over time with heat. So at some point along the way, you're going to have to refill that thing.
Maybe.
Like, your car is a closed system as well.
Yeah.
But at some point along the way, you need to have your radiator flushed and topped off.
I am not sure. But
okay.
If I mounted it like this, there would be no sound. The problem is
it's not mounted that way.
You can't mount it this way because there's no airflow from the bottom of the case.
Mm-hmm.
So this configuration is good. This configuration is good. This configuration is good. I tried mounting it on the top because, that's supposed to preserve the life of your thing. I was trying to do everything I could in order not to replace this because I was afraid of, this is like open heart surgery for me.
Right. Is it also very expensive too, or is it surprisingly reasonable?
It's really reasonable. Like the replacement I got has an extra fan. So it's like, this is a 240 millimeter system because it has the two fans. I got a 360 with a third fan.
Okay.
It's like $180.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, so the last time I tried to look at repairing a computer was my laptop. Took it into Micro Center and they said, yes, we can replace your battery for $600.
Right.
Take out the fucking top and we give you a new top. I'm like, nope. That's not a repair. That's not a repair. And also,
that's a replacement.
Fuck you. And also, I don't have a fucking month to wait. So,
yeah. PCs on the plus side, most parts usually are cheap. Now, you are heading into a realm that I do not have a ton of experience with, but I think reasonably, there's nothing so intimidating to me about assembling a PC that I won't do it myself. And like, especially the hardware side, software side scares me a little bit more than honestly the hardware side, but like whatever, loading Windows is loading Windows.
Yeah.
So like, okay, no problem. And between that and my experience with cars, like, I'm here for all of this. This makes total sense to me. That's where my head is like, okay, cool. This makes sense. Radiator's bad. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. So like,
radiator's bad. I could try to fuck around and replace it.
No,
like
because you're kicking the can down the road. And eventually
it's gonna die. Yeah.
Right. This is the idea. You fix a radiator because you're in the middle of a road trip and you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
You replace a radiator because you care about your vehicle and it's time to replace the radiator.
Yeah. Also, this is a known issue from this maker that their stock
and like you said, if their stock radiators suck, then reasonably this would have been something that, like, had I done the research and I were in your shoes and I knew that I bought this thing knowing that it is not the best when it comes to the radiator, I'd be casually putting $5 away here and there to just like know that eventually, I'm buying the for the like I think 3 car nerds that we have in our audience, like the Mishimoto radiator like equivalency for the PC of like, I don't want to think about this at all. And if the regular one like is $150 to $180, I'm trying to find something for $210, $230 that is basically bulletproof, where I spend the money and I know that fuck it, this is something I don't have to think about for a while and just move on. It's what I shout about all the time. If you own a vehicle and you are replacing the tires, do not be fucking cheap. They are the only thing that contact the road. They are the only thing that keep you safe in an accident. They are the only thing that keep you safe in bad weather. Don't fucking get cheap about it. Genuinely, it is your lifeline. Spend the money on yourself. Skip the fast food for lunch one of the days a week and appreciate yourself. You'll thank me later when you're still fucking alive to thank me later.
Exactly. So I spent the entire night looking at stuff.
Okay.
Learning about how the systems work, learning about how you can install things into this particular case, learning about what fits in the system. And I made some decisions like Corsair is a company that's known for providing decent parts.
Yeah.
They got a lot of fun RGB shit. So at the same time, I was like,
glowy shit.
I'm going to upgrade my fan and I'm going to buy new fans.
Yep.
I had the stock fans in there. There was no RGB on that shit. It was cheap enough. I got a 3-pack. I'm glowing. I'm glowing, man.
Right. Because now that you're in there and you got the thing open, fuck it.
Might as well bling the shit out of it, right?
For the record, watching you go through basically what most car nerds do when they start to pull things off, where it's like, I've been debating putting coilovers on my car to lower it just a bit.
Yeah.
Just to make that look. And I'm like, but if I'm going to do that, I should really put new wheels on it. And suddenly like, same thing with the guitar,
exactly.
where it's like, well, fuck it. I mean, I got the thing open already. And I'm like, well, I mean, if I'm going to do big wheels, I should probably do a big brake kit. And it's like, well, you don't really drive that fast. It's like, yeah, but I'm going to have unnecessary wear as I hold the extra weight on each corner. So like, I should probably justify it. And suddenly I go from way too expensive coilovers to then way too expensive coilovers, wheels and tires to then that and also a big brake kit, and something that started at $2,500 is something like $8,000. And I'm like, fuck, that spiraled out real fast. Like, car looks great, but like,
but you appreciate it. You did that.
Right.
And it's your thing. And it might not be the best. Like, this guitar is a piece of shit. Like, that body is trash. I should not have done all the work that I put in onto that body, but it's mine. And I like the way it sounds. I like the way it feels.
You are living the embodiment of everyone who modified kind of a shitty Honda Civic in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I could go out and buy a nicer car, but this one's mine. Yeah. And I have it and I own it and it's mine and I'm going to make it mine. I'm going to paint this or that. I'm going to install this or that. I'm going to do this or that. And I know that when I walk up to my car, it's my car.
Yeah.
I'm not confused about it. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
It's the old joke of like, if you get out of your car and you walk away and you don't look back, you bought the wrong vehicle. And your PC should be the same way. Your fucking guitar should be the same way. Like, you should walk by and kind of give it that like, hey girl. And like, as you walk by, because you need to have that love for these inanimate objects because they're passion projects. If you could pass by and go, yeah, you're not in love with it. And that's fine, but it's not something you really love. And it's not something you really care about. And it's not something you're going to invest in.
Yeah.
I think things like PCs, especially when you spend so much time using it for work and passion projects and art and everything else that you do, it should be your rig. You should be fucking proud of it. Yeah. You should probably name it. You should probably talk to it like it's its own person as an inanimate object. During the day when you start to hear something buzz and you go, yo, you all right? Like, there should be that communication there. And if you don't have that, that's okay. Just know that you may not value it the way you need to make it last a good long time.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy. Like the new cards have come out, like the new graphics cards have come out, and I looked at them and I'm like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to give up on this one yet.
Right.
So I waited until Micro Center opens. They open at 10.
Okay.
Go to Micro Center. I get the thing. The lady at the checkout says, here you go. Hope you have a good day. And I'm like, we'll see. Because at this point, I have not slept. I've never done this on a PC before. I am willing to jump in with both hands, but I'm way nervous because
understandably so. I assume YouTube tutorial.
Oh yes, YouTube.
Good man.
Many YouTube. I found a Scottish YouTuber,
nice,
with a Scottish accent,
nice, to make it all the more enjoyable.
It was so good. It was like a bright beam. Light.
And now you put this shit on there. Actually, it's called a thermal paste. I don't know what it is, but it's sticky as shit.
Yeah, it was.
Mate, be careful. Put gloves on. Nitrals. You get that shit everywhere. Like
it was glorious. It was like
that's awesome.
It was so good. I started putting things in. Yep. Something didn't fit right, so I went back to Micro Center to pick up like a little backing plate.
There you go. Oh, now this has turned into a Home Depot job.
I park. I walk up to the entrance. Alarm goes off. Fire alarm
in your pocket?
No, fire alarm goes off. Everyone has to evacuate. So I'm sitting there waiting for the fire department to show up.
Right. So this way you can buy the extra part.
Like an extra stupid little thing. So I'm sitting there trying my best not to fucking panic.
Right.
Fortunately, the fire station is literally a block away. So the truck shows up, they walk around, they're like, you're fine, go in.
Everything's fine, right? False alarm, no worries.
No worries. $6 item, I pick it up, I go, I start my assembly. Turns out I didn't actually need that thing.
There you go. That also feels right.
That's how it goes. I plug in everything. The Corsair system has their own power supply, so you can hook in 6 more fans without having to like figure out where to do it on.
That's awesome. So it's upgradable. So you've purchased something that can add to your longevity.
Yep. So
honestly, 6 more fan, like that feels like you're in a wind tunnel as opposed to a PC case. Right. Yeah. Like I assume no dust settles because how can it?
Well, originally the original build had 4 fans. Okay. So 2 in the radiator, 1 in the top, and then 1 in the back as exits. Yeah. And so now with the current configuration, there are 3 on the radiator is an intake, 2 on the top, and 1 in the back.
Okay.
And they're all RGB, Brandon. And
so you got some glowy shit going on.
Some glowy shit.
It's a wind turbine running through that bad boy. Did you by chance happen to put like some colored streamers inside the PC case?
No, but
oh, girl, that's some shiny shit.
Yeah. So I left the front off because the original front has 2 tiny vents and like a big block in the middle. Yeah, that's bad for airflow.
Right.
But they make an upgrade to the case, so you can buy a new cage. So I have a new cage coming, and a new so it's like a aftermarket part for my case.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So that's coming. And then I looked, and the case manufacturer also sells RGB strips that you can put on the side. And I was like, I don't need it, but
I want it.
I want it. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
Okay.
But my
how much are they?
The RGB rails? Oh, I didn't even look. I just looked at the different types of accessories. Okay. Now, like, I was like, this was fun. Now I want to start building PCs. And I was like, slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Moment of truth. Turned it on. Fans spun up. All of the fans spun up. The ones I newly installed. Great. So at least the fans were working. I plugged in everything. Turned everything back on. Brandon, I was able to render and upload the fucking podcast with the incorrect information. But I was
but you had such a journey along the way. Like isn't Isn't that the importance of the podcast, Jamie? The fans we install along the way.
The fans
like, isn't that
one extra fan?
Look, you know what? 2 extra fans is more than we've gained as a podcast in some fucking time. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that should be the name of the podcast. Adding fans.
So it was a journey. It was worth it. I was so happy it was what I thought it was and not something else. Because if it was something else,
yes, I
would have broken down and just laid on the floor until it was time to pick up Hazel. And I'm not sure I would have been able to get up.
You'd have made a call. We'd have figured it out. That'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing we can't fix.
But it's given me more confidence to be able to fix this stuff. But also it has reaffirmed my decision to never buy an Apple anything anymore. Except for like an iPad or something like that.
Phones and tablets are perfectly fine. But I think once this MacBook dies, I think I'll probably go back to a PC.
Yeah. So here's my thing. If you're going to spend this kind of money on a device, you should get one of 2 things. You should get either world-class service for it or something that you can fix.
Right.
And when you're buying an Apple product, your service is the Apple Store.
Right.
And that's pretty much it.
Right.
Mileage may vary.
Hang on. To be fair,
this may vary.
Best Buy does also honor Apple Care.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually go to a Best Buy and deal with their Geek Squad and everything else like that, which honestly I found is a better experience personally
than the Genius Bar.
Than the Genius Bar, yeah, because a lot of times with the Genius Bar, now to be fair, the Geek Squad will essentially take your thing and disappear, and then you're left. Now on the plus side, you're left to wander a Best Buy, which gives you a lot more shit to look at than an Apple Store. Because that's a problem with getting something repaired in an Apple Store is you're left without your phone to wander around the very limited and expensive selection at the Apple Store.
It was more fun wandering around Best Buy when they had that random Guitar Center in the back of it.
I agreed. No argument there. But the fine people at Magnolia do offer some nice stuff. And at the very least, I can chill out in the Magnolia Lounge, sit down in a really nice plush chair and watch nature videos for at least half an hour. And that's honestly something. Like, if you're clever about it, they don't really give you a hard time if you buy snacks and then walk into the back of the store, because you can have yourself your own little movie experience so long as you're not messy about it.
Yeah. And that's why I have a real appreciation for the PC thing. Cause like, if I didn't want to fix it, there are a bunch of repair shops that could have done it for cheap. And I wouldn't have had to spend $600 for them to just rip out the top case and put it back in.
Right.
And I feel like, and that's what pisses me off so much about Apple is that, like, I've used their devices for years. My dad was the first person to buy a Macintosh in Bethesda. So like we've been an Apple family from Jump Street.
Right, but Apple then is not the same thing as Apple now.
Right. And
that's the thing is, like, the second they got rid of their proper towers, you lost the ability to upgrade anything in a Mac.
Yeah. And they did the most, like, I forgot the term, but like you can rent their repair kit now, but it's like paying a bill with a roll full of pennies or like a sack full of pennies. Like, I'll pay this bill, but I'm going to make you count these pennies. And it's like, I'll let you repair it, but you got to jump through all these fucking hoops.
Fuck that.
All this money to rent this fucking thing from me.
This is something I've been shouting about on the podcast, in person, everything else again. Right to repair.
Yeah. And renting
is such an important thing to be able to, 1, have the ability to repair, 2, know how to repair, 3, have the access to the tools that they proprietarily make to make you be able to repair something. This has been a big argument in cars and stuff like that, as major auto manufacturers have been trying to move to fucking subscription services for features. Fuck you.
That. Jesus Christ.
Like, right. But as we move more toward Tesla being the fucking regular, because apparently we decide that we want to fucking pray at the fucking altar of Elon for some goddamn reason. I am not anti-electric car, though. I am genuinely concerned how the fuck we fix the power grid to actually support all the electric cars that we want.
Yeah.
I am more concerned about the idea that auto manufacturers are basically turning everything into PCs and making them so flush and so clean that we're terrified of repairing anything ourselves. We're terrified of replacing anything ourselves. Like the idea that it normally would cost me anywhere between $110 to $160 to get my oil changed in my VW. And the fact that I can buy the oil to replace it for $45, the filter for another $10. And do you know what you need to replace that oil, Jamie? One flathead screwdriver and a drain. You literally need somewhere to put the oil to pull the drain plug. Volkswagen uses a plastic oil pan and uses an insert that is idiot proof. That actually has a little dimple so that you can't over tighten it. You literally twist it one full rotation. The plastic cap comes out. The oil dumps out. You can twist the oil filter cover because it's plastic off with your bare hands.
Yeah.
And then replace the biodegradable filter.
Yeah.
And then go and do it yourself. I haven't paid anyone to do my oil since I've had my VW.
And that's the thing about repairing is like, you can do it yourself, but if you don't want to, you can pay another motherfucker to do it.
Right. I should be able to do it, but I shouldn't have to pay the manufacturer. Right. I shouldn't have to pay an exorbitant Volkswagen fee at a dealership to have a certified technician, which by all means, when I went to go do my maintenance to go get my transmission flushed because it was time, because I purchased a used vehicle, I went to a certified Volkswagen repair center and I went, hey, I don't know how to do this. I don't trust myself to do this. Fix this thing. And they went, okay. And then they did it. And then, well, hang on. And here's the problem though, is then they told me that my spark plugs needed to be replaced. They wanted to charge me $350 for it. The spark plugs were $55. I had to buy one tool, which was also $40. And I managed to replace them in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the thing is, if you are willing, by the way, YouTube has helped me through all of these things. Anytime I do an oil change, I always forget how to reset the maintenance notification. YouTube is my friend. When I went to go actually do my spark plugs, YouTube is my friend. People helping other people do practical shit to save money means that I can confidently say, since I've owned my vehicle, I've probably saved the better part of $2,000 in maintenance, just rotating tires myself, doing my oil changes myself, doing my tune-ups myself. That's a big fucking deal, man. Like that fucking money goes places. It allows us to go, I saved that money. I was able to go on vacation if I think about it hard enough. Like that's fucking rad. Yeah. So right to repair is so fucking important. And the ability to have access to other people who have made the mistakes and listen to them. Always, always, always as a word of advisement, if you are going to repair something, find more than one repair video. Please compare them. Make sure that they make sense.
Yeah.
Especially if they have an incredibly heavy accent or they appear to be from another country. Vehicles, computers, technology, it's different overseas. It's close, but it might not be exact. Be mindful.
Oh, especially voltages. That would be
right. Just be mindful and smart about that shit.
Yeah.
So when you like, and this is the plus side is you learned that moving forward, if you have a problem with your computer, you are going to Google the problem, YouTube the repair, take a look at it, YouTube somebody else looking at the repair, feel confident about it, get beer muscles, start pricing out the parts for everything, and then make a decision of, do I want to fuck with this or do I want to take this somewhere? But the fact that you have the right, one, and two, the confidence to go and do so is a fucking game changer when it comes to your own business, because now you are taking charge of your own schedule, future, what have you, and then deciding as a business owner, yes, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to be down for a day and a half. I'm going to be out X number of hundreds of dollars, but it's not 3 days because I had to wait for somebody else's schedule to be able to free up so this is the way they could repair my computer, plus parts and whatever their reasonable markup is, because they're a business and they should make money too. So but that's a big deal, man. Like, it's a huge deal.
And even if I didn't want to, at least the ability to shop around to other repair shops, is also awesome. You
don't have to go to a Dell shop that only deals in Dells. It's not that way.
Yeah, I hope that the PC market continues to be this open. Because it's a better way to do it. Like, I love the simplicity of a lot of the Apple products. Like I got the phone, I got the iPad. I love drawing on the iPad.
Right.
But when it comes to a work machine, I should be able to fix it if I fucking want to, and if I need to take it to a place, I should be able to shop it around to find someone who isn't going to bullshit me,
right?
And like upcharge me because they breathed on it,
right?
You know, I got so mad.
I appreciate simple mechanics. This is why I am slowly mourning the eventual death of the gasoline engine. Cause it's like, man, because once you figure out how that comes together, everything else feels easier.
Yeah.
Cause you're like, oh, I understand how gasoline combusts in a small chamber to create fire, to create propulsion. Everything else, like, that was wizardry is like, oh, okay, this is just like this. And somebody goes, yeah. And then you just go, all right. Like, the fact that I can compare your PC radiator, which clearly is modeled off of an old oil cooler. To be able to go to watch someone else look at a PC and have the thing go, fucking thing's overheating. And then somebody else goes, Jesus Christ, almost like my computer needs a radiator or something like that. And somebody goes, why don't we? They go, well, I mean, what about water in the system? It's like, yeah, but we're not riding an old Plymouth up of a fucking mountain. Like, it's a PC. Why can't we?
So the pump that covers the CPU, they make a version with a LED readout or LCD readout. So it tells you like what the temperature is, and then you can change it to like motion graphics. So it could be like a wave generator or like a dance thing. Yeah. And I was like, I don't need it now. Don't need it, but I kind of want it just in case.
That's fair.
Yeah,
a temperature gauge feels important.
Yeah. And if you can put a smiley face on it when the temperature isn't there, like
that I get the idea of like the constant need to, and it's the only term I'm thinking of that makes sense, to just kawaii up every fucking piece of electronics humanly possible.
Yeah.
I'm here for all of that.
I mean, look, like, this is my fucking keyboard.
Right.
Like,
I get it. Yeah.
Oh, and that's the other thing about Macs. No RGB. I can't be an elite gamer.
They're not very fun.
Without RGB.
They're sleek and they're pretty, but they're not really fun.
Yeah, I want some like RGB headers on the side.
I want something. You're talking to a guy who, by the way, the part of that conversation earlier about all the lowering and everything else like that, the part I didn't bring up, underglow, because I definitely priced it. Yeah, because there's a part of me who still plays Need for Speed Underground too. And I need that underglow, man. I need it.
God, the fucking computer stands. There's no glow on the computer stands.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I need to roll through a parking lot blasting Ja Rule from the original Fast and Furious soundtrack with underglow fucking just careening in a rainbow under my car as you hear Ja Rule say life in a game. Oh no.
If they made a RGB, if there's a manufacturer out there who makes an RGB case that I could put on my Mac laptop, I might change my tune, because I'm a dumbass sucker for this RGB shit. Oh, I bought fans specifically because the LEDs in them shits.
get ready for your fucking ads to change dramatically.
Yeah.
The plus side of the internet is that the internet is listening and it provides.
Yeah.
So be sure to check your social media in the morning because you are going to see some advertisements.
I have thought about like
installing LEDs into that.
Did, like the fucking,
I'm sure.
The fucking rail lights on the side. So
oh yeah, no, those are good. I'm surprised, honestly, you didn't do inlays for the fret markings.
I looked into that, and that's some. I just got to learn how to solder shit. I also don't have a wood shop, but
yeah, that there is that too. I forgot about that problem. Guitars have that added bonus of being wood.
I need my gamer fuckboy RGB. I need that in my life because I've got the fucking LED lights in my fucking room. If I'm gonna be miserable, I want it at least to be pretty. You got a fucking LED sign.
Yeah, I got a Tyrannosaur over there. I've got a pineapple over there. Yeah, I get this. I understand. I've got LEDs in my keyboards and everything else like that.
Yeah, don't be surprised when I finish this book and we get our like advanced. If you turn this on and the whole back is just those stupid fucking LED panels.
Just LEDs, just big cascading swoopy font. Fucking do it.
Yeah,
just cascading behind the guitars.
Oh, I need that. I need a fucking do it.
Just LED neon sign. Pink.
Jesus Christ, I need that. I fucking need that. There is a place that does that. That
I know
does the EL wires. Like, I'm gonna get that.
I don't know.
Hazel will be like, what's that say? You know what it says, Hazel.
You know what it says. Go ahead, read it out loud for the rest of the class.
Yeah. So,
are we starting the show?
Well, yeah. So that's why it took a while for the podcast. It would have gone up Wednesday night.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't notice. So that's
yeah. Brandon, tell the people who we are, what we're doing, why we're here.
All right. Am I doing the intro first before we do the intro media thing? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live from the Fucking Do It Studios, part of the Hard Knock Media Podcasting Network. This is once again time for the Fucking Do It Cast, featuring the former Super Art Fight honorable referee Brandon Chalmers and his co-host with the Mohos, Time Magazine's own. You know him, you love him, often duplicated, never ever replaced, the one, the only Jamie Hangry Zen Master Noguchi. Holy crap, we have a star-studded cast for this week's episode. I know that we are easily probably, I don't have a timer on it, but let's say 34 minutes and 26 seconds in, and I am goddamn excited for this thing to get going. Jamie Noguchi, my friend, my compadre, my best broham, could you please hit the bumper and let him hear the theme song? Hit it, my dude.
So good.
So lost there. God, I'm so tired.
Good. Brandon, what have you been geeking on?
Fucking nothing. Like, it's just like,
yeah.
I'm gonna pull curtain back here. So you boys started doing talk therapy.
Oh, cool.
And I hate it.
Oh, not cool.
Yeah. Right. Because what I learned is that by sitting down with a professional and talking things out, and then I also transparency. So part of what's going on for me personally, I'm losing a ton of focus. Like I'm at work, and I am at work, and I am at work early, and I'm at work often, and I am there all day long, and I have no problem being on time, and I have no problem making to-do lists and everything else like that. I'm losing focus.
Yeah.
Like it is so hard sometimes where I'm just like, I'm sitting there working on something and then my brain goes, what's going on Instagram? It's like, fucking nothing's going on Instagram. Nothing's ever going on Instagram. You should probably check what's going on Instagram. God damn it. No, I don't need to go
drummer videos on Instagram.
But they're right. And this is the problem is now my work is auditioning for my attention versus the rest of the goddamned world.
Yeah.
And of course, it's losing, and it shouldn't because they're paying me. But here I am fucking having trouble fucking paying attention and shit. Yeah. And in turn, I'm spending more time at work than I should because I feel obligated to finish all of the things. So I'm having less time at work, I'm having less time at home. Therefore, I'm spending less time with my wife, less time with the dog, less time practicing drums, less time going and working out. You know, like it's a vicious spiral. And I was like, okay, I need to take responsibility for this. I need to stop being the stereotypical fucking shithead who works construction and say, yeah, it's perfectly fine for everybody else, but it's not for me. I don't think I've ever had a negative opinion of therapy, but I've also never really taken it seriously. I've tried talk therapy a couple times, hasn't really stuck. And in turn, I'm finding myself once again going and talking to the psychiatrist, the one who helps with recommendation of medication if that's what you need and or want.
Yeah.
And having a great conversation with them and being able to communicate well and figure out what's going on and have reasonable discussions about like, hey, do you have sleep apnea? Hey, do you do this? Hey, are you doing this in the afternoon? Hey, how do you help with this? And sitting down with the talk therapist and them kind of doing like, have you considered being kinder to yourself? It's like, lady, I'm trying to divide by 0 and do more things in a day. I need you to comprehend. I think I'm awesome. That's not my problem.
I'm the best.
Right. Yeah. Like self-esteem is not my problem. I know that is an issue for some people. And I hope that they find the help they need or the motivation or whatever it is that gets them out of that funk. I'm trying to fucking get back to goddamn work so that I can go do other cool shit that I really enjoy. But like, I'm so goddamn burnt out through the day. Then I get done a 10.5, 11-hour day. And then I come home and I'm like, fuck everything. I just want to sit down and watch TV.
Yeah.
It's like, that's okay sometimes, but that's not okay fucking 5 days a week and then try and pack everything else into the weekend because I don't have work during the day. Like,
yeah.
And it's not a healthy balance. I should be able to go do shit after work and not be like, ugh, for fuck's sake. Like, I felt terrible when we hung out on Friday. I didn't want to go.
Aww.
I got home and I was like, fuck all of this. I don't feel like going. And I was like, no, you love these people. You want to see these people. You're going to be perfectly happy once you actually see these people. Quit being a fucking baby bitch. Fucking put your big boy pants on. Go buy some goddamn French fries. Go see your fucking friends. Like, what the fuck?
Well, we did watch a lot of climbing, and that's not for everybody.
No, I enjoy watching climbing. I know I can't do it, but I still enjoy watching it. Now, I think a lot of it's fucking ridiculous because,
yeah.
Yeah, some fucking like 135-pound dude with like 4% body fat, right, is hanging by 2 fingers. And I'm like, bitch, please eat a cheesesteak and do that again. Eat a cheesesteak and do that again. I want to know whether or not that specimen of a human can do that fucking God knows whatever 11.
Yeah.
After eating something covered in cheese whiz, because that is impressive.
Yeah.
Doing the thing, there's a handful of people who can do that. Doing the thing with a tummy full of Philadelphia's best, that's a fucking impressive maneuver.
That would be a great challenge, actually.
It is my new equivalency to boxing chess. You remember? Did you ever see that? Where you had to go one? Yeah. So it was like a Russian sport where basically the fighters would sit down, or they would start with one round of boxing and then one round of chess, and then one round of boxing and one round of chess. You basically got to 6 rounds of each, and you either won by knockout, disqualification, or checkmate. And it's like,
oh my God. If this send friend thing gets off the ground, I get to the point where we could sponsor a comp, it's going to be Boulder Burger. Boulder Burger.
That's Burger. Right. Boulder or Burger, that feels like a fucking challenge to me. Yeah. Because like, it doesn't have to be beef, so we can be inclusive to all of our friends.
Oh, yeah.
But the idea is you kill an equivalency 8-ounce patty with agreed upon toppings between each competitor.
Yeah.
We all agree that like, hey, each patty will be, we'll start off at 10 ounces, will be approximately 8 ounces upon cooking, will be, covered in the following toppings. And we basically have them prepped, right? We get sponsorship from a burger truck or whatever it is. And we just have them prepped, and we have the competitors first house a burger.
Yes.
For speed. And then hit the wall. Each round is a combined time of Burger and Boulder.
Oh, I love it.
So you could be fast at eating, or you could be fast at making it up the wall, but a true competitor is fast at both.
Yes.
That's
I love that idea.
And it's right, like it's a challenge of grit versus gut. It's like because it's impressive if you do it for 2 rounds, but somebody who gets 5 rounds into that.
Oh my God.
Right. Like I imagine, and like I said, if you want to do it as like Burger King size burgers, where it's nothing ridiculously huge, but like you get 5 burgers on, trying to gradually up the difficulty level.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Try doing a fucking dynamic move with a tummy full of fucking beef. Right. Yeah. Want to know what sets our competition apart? We lay down plastic over the crash pads. All right. I'm expecting somebody to fucking burst.
Wharf.
Right. And you might be like, Brandon, that's gross. And be like, yeah, but when it happens, you'll thank me.
Yeah. Oh, and we film it all. It's going to be amazing.
Right. Because the idea of everyone fucking heavy breathing by round 4, just doing
Okay. Well,
yeah, we can even do an endurance competition where 2 competitors have a duel where they both agree on a difficulty and on a route. Where like you walk around the gym, you pick something as minimal like V3. Yeah. Both members shake hands, and then you basically do a burger for burger challenge on the same wall to see how long and how far anyone can go.
Yeah. I like it.
Like then no one's confused about how to do it. It's about how tough are you.
Yeah. I like it. Food and fails.
I think it's Burger or Boulder.
Burger or Boulder. Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be a challenge that way.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Honestly, we should try and see once you all get that thing going, the idea of getting a partnership together and then us proposing that to the gym and being like, here's the competition. It's Burger or Boulder. It's the greatest competition between gut or grit. Yeah. It's, like we just get a bunch of alliteration going and we put the posters together and literally you just bring people down. Right. And you get to watch families eat the same burgers as the competitors. Be like, honey, I don't know if I could have done that. I have one of those burgers. They had 4 of them.
I want it now.
Yeah, I'm here for it too. It's time that the fat climbers had a chance to fucking even the playing field.
Yeah. We got off at a tangent, but
I know about spitting gravity in the fucking face. Eat a dick, Isaac Newton. I'm eating a burger and I'm going sky high.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what do you? Sorry. So to double way the fuck back.
Yeah.
So I learned that I feel way worse today than I did yesterday after having the conversation, because now I'm reflecting on all the fucking awful shit that's going on. It's not helping a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was perfectly fine because I went to work. I dealt with all the bullshit and all the things that had been bothering me that I had been like, yeah, okay, have been way the fuck back there. Like, they're in the rear view. That's why why Italian race cars don't have rear view mirrors. I don't care about what's behind me. Like, it's in the past now. It's gone.
It's in the past.
Right. Did I see a chupacabra? I don't know. Is he biting my ankles? Nope. Like, so. That's been a weird thing for me today of like, now I go a week until I talk to this person again. And now I'm like, I don't want to, like, I'm comfortable talking about stuff that is bad.
Right.
And I've got my fair share of things that are happening right now in my world that are difficult. And if I dwell on them, I could easily get very, very sad. And I'm trying to do my best to kind of do the like, no, because the sun's still going to come up tomorrow morning. I still have to be at work because I have responsibilities, and I still need to be a partner and a friend to the people around me and the woman I'm married to, and just try and be reliable. And like, I still have to do, I want to do all those things because I feel like I should, and I feel obligated to do so. And that's an important thing that I agreed upon. And I'm about that world and the idea of dwelling on all those things. And then more importantly, and this feels like the most morbid fucking like, pick at a scab thing for me, is schedule it weekly. I was like, why? Like, I'm pretty sure that there's no amount of conversation that me and this person are going to have about how much my parents suck. It's suddenly going to make me not want to fucking hit Instagram at work. Like, if you can connect those dots, I'll start believing the QAnon shit might have some validity. Cause like, I don't see how those feel like a Grand Canyon apart. And like, one feels way the fuck in here. One feels way the fuck over there. And how you manage to fucking draw that line cleanly, don't fucking get it. Yeah. Like, maybe there's a butterfly effect. Sure, I'm open to fucking anything, but like, there's part of that just don't. That dog don't hunt. Like, just.
Yeah.
So I am trying to do a lot of things with this. One of which, by being forthright about it on here, is to normalize the idea that I should be able to talk about it. I shouldn't be embarrassed about it. It shouldn't be an uncomfortable thing or anything else like that. I don't need to talk about any of the topics or any of the yada yadas, but I should be able to be comfortable going, yes, I'm talking to a professional about using medication if necessary. I'm talking to a professional about my world, because being able to talk about what's going on in theory should be what helps you out. I should be able to be open about that, because I don't know if somebody else listening to that has heard me week after week. Thank you for fucking putting up with me. And decides that, like, you know what? Brandon kind of seems like the prototypical fucking, like, yeah, I don't need it. Rub some dirt on it. And in most cases I am. But if I'm going, yeah, maybe I should probably talk to a professional, maybe this might be a good thing for you. Or maybe at the very least, it softens you on
other people doing it. Maybe you suddenly decide to stop listening because you think I'm a candy ass now. Like, I don't know. I mean, I will confidently say, hang on, I will confidently say, I'll defend myself on here. If you hear me say that going to therapy is good for me and good for other people, and you shouldn't be a fucking shithead about it, go fuck yourself. If you don't like that shit, come fucking find me. I ain't hard to find, because I may talk about my feelings in a professional setting with a professional, but I will absolutely step outside and you can fucking figure out how much of a candy ass I am. Now, with that said, everyone else should feel very comfortable with the idea of getting help if you want it. Mm-hmm. Much like your PC, much like my car, anything else like that, there are some things you can tackle on your own. And there are some things that maybe you should get a pro who really kind of understands this shit a little better than you do to help you out, to do the work for you, to watch the YouTube video and learn how somebody else has handled it, be able to communicate with that person, ask questions, put a comment in the fucking comments and see if they respond back because you saw something that doesn't make any sense. And you go, hey, how the fuck did you do that? And they go, oh yeah, I've been meaning to repost and edit this video. This is how I did it. Thank you. Like, so I have not been in my very brief experience yesterday, I did not enjoy it. I am going to continue to do it. And for anyone who might make comments, I'm going to try it out for the next few weeks with this person and decide whether or not I actually have a good rapport with them. And if in the case it doesn't work out, I'm going to an office that has other people to talk to. I will talk about moving to a different person that I might have a better rapport with. I also understand that this is a relationship, not a physical one, not a sexual one, but a friendship. I am asking this person to help me through a situation. And if I don't find them helpful, I don't find them relatable, I just don't click with them for whatever reason, I need to do one of two things: take personal stock in the idea that maybe I'm wrong. And that's a hard one for a lot of people to do, myself included. Or do the question of, and this is something I talked about in my session and also something I've been really kind of taking into stride when it comes to jobs and friendships and work ethic and everything else like that, is I had and have always had the impression that sometimes the grass is greener on the other side. And it's what has caused me to move places or change situations or change how I talk to people or what have you. And I am more of a mindset now. There is a law of diminishing returns with this statement, but the grass might be greenest where I water it.
Interesting.
Making that kind of thought process and trying to see if I can kind of make a personal investment and see if I need to slow down as I get older, because my mentality is changing, my body is changing, my view is changing. And I need to remember that I cannot have the fight or flight that I used to when I was 23. Mm-hmm. I am not that same man. I have to remember that. Your video cut out on my end. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I don't understand. Can you hear me still though?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My computer is heard all this.
Ironically,
I don't think I want to work now.
Right. I heard you talking about me, Jamie.
I heard you talking about me, Dave.
Remember how you said you don't need a new video card? Joke's on you. Like,
I heard you fucking loser bastard. Son of a bitch.
I don't know why my head immediately went to, oh, so your computer's Hannibal Lecter. Just like, hello, Jamie.
Hello. Fucking computer.
Anyway, so what have you been geeking about?
Well, I mean, I pretty much the preamble, fixing my computer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Getting your computer fixed. I get you.
Well, I mean, I'm happy for you that you're able to talk to somebody.
Yeah. I'm glad that I'm able to, honestly, that's partially your doing.
Me?
Well, yeah, because I think I've talked about this before, but like when the pandemic hit and I got laid off and I was home a lot and everything else like that, you and your family checked in on me damn near daily.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And gave me an opportunity to be open and honest. And there was no judgment about when I was having a rough day or I was having an okay day or what have you. And a lot of the conversations, I know you were definitely dragging some things out of me, but I realized that in retrospect, I needed that human connection of somebody who I wasn't living with, because I was, even if I didn't convey it the way I probably should, because I was too wrapped up in my own shit, I wanted to make sure you all were okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, having that thought process of somebody checking in on me gave me an opportunity to be like, yo, how you doing? All right? Everything okay? Y'all need anything? You okay? Do I need to like fucking throw a mask on and go find you toilet paper somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere and drop it off as a care package? Like, what's up?
Yeah.
So I think having that and remembering that sort of interaction and check in and what have you didn't mean that you thought less of me. Yeah. It just was part of you caring.
Yeah.
And whether it was your daily routine or whether you were actually worried about me and just never really vocalized it to a point where we needed to have one of those talks, I knew that it was a good thing for, at the very least, me, and I hoped it was a good thing for you all as well.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, that this whole fucking thing that we're still in was, I mean, it's pretty unique because like you're stuck at home, and the way I usually work, it's like, oh, I'm fine. I can do everything on my own. Like I work on my own all the time. It's
right. Yeah. You are a very independent being.
Yeah. But you still don't realize how much you need people.
Yes.
And so I think, what little we can do was what little we could do,
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I'm happy for you. That's good.
Thanks, man. I am not going to probably talk about it a ton because I don't need to turn this into like therapy to electric boogaloo, because this is not the forum for that. I don't think I should be putting that out there because I should be able to hold some things close to the vest. But yeah, if anyone is curious and would like to talk to me about my experience, or if you feel like maybe you want to talk to somebody and you want my perspective, I am here. You can contact us through the website, through the email address. You can hit me up on Instagram. Like, I'm not hard to find, and I would genuinely be happy to talk to anybody about it. Even if just you and I aren't really like close friends or even just know each other at all, and you really just do want that like fucking outside perspective, I got you. Like, I want to normalize the idea of people being comfortable of talking about this. No different than, you blow your elbow out playing tennis and you need to wear a brace and you need to go see a specialist. It's part of your body. It needs maintenance. Like, it's okay.
Yep.
I thought I lost you there for a second.
No, I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck is happening with this.
I don't know. Do you want to let's wrap this up, because I don't think it's going to improve any.
Yeah, I think I'm dead in the water.
That's okay.
Brandon, where can people find you?
Ironically, as I just talked about, you can find me on Instagram at that guy Chalmers, Jamie Noguchi. Where can they find you? Where can they find possibly your wares? Where can they also find maybe that email address where they can email the podcast and ask for questions, concerns, anything else like that? Fuck, send us topic ideas. Send us whatever the fuck you want. I don't know how often Jamie checks it. If he gives me access, I'll check it all the fucking time. I don't know. We'll see. Or I won't. Fucking roll the dice, shoot an email off, see what happens.
I don't want to distract you anymore.
Dick.
I'll figure out. We have an email address, info@fuckingdoitcast.com.
Yep.
I check it as much as I check the email that I use for my class from college, which is never. So
maybe it might be time to give me access to that email. Add it to my inbox.
I'll send it set it up for Brandon so he can check it. Because I have so much other shit to work on.
I know. But I feel pretty confident that if it's checking an email, I'll do that. Other than checking Instagram for the 15th time, I'll do 14 Instagrams, one email check.
Yeah. But yeah, you could find me wherever podcasts are sold. And yeah, that's all I got.
Nice. That's all right.
Yeah, type Jamie Noguchi as you see on the screen into your fine Google machines, and you'll find him and all sorts of things. You can find him on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. I'm trying to think of anything else. JDate, Farmers Only.
Farmers Only.
You like that corn, Jamie? It's got the juice. Like, what can I say?
Only corn.
Right, only corn.
Only corn.
Yeah, a place for everyone to play shoots and ladders and talk about farming equipment. Corn and corn. Anyway, all right. Kids, be excellent to each other. Take a little time for some self-care, and please just fucking don't be a dickhead. Being kind is free.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead. When you feel like you want to be a dickhead to somebody, do me a favor. Breathe or shoot me an email and tell me to go fuck myself instead of someone else. Right. So if I get emails from like 15 different people that says, hey, Brandon, you're a fucking granola looking motherfucker, and like, you shut the fuck up. I know that 15 other people didn't get called motherfuckers, and I feel good about that. Info at fuckingdoitcast.com. So go ahead and hit us up. Call me an asshole. Be excellent to one another. For myself, for my co-host with the mo-host who you cannot see, and it breaks my goddamn heart because it's fucking adorable. The most fuckable member of this podcast has said it once, I'll say it again. This has been the Fucking Do It Cast, part of the Hard Knock Media Podcast Network. Have yourselves a great week, you fucking assholes.